Hello and welcome! Hello and welcome to The Sound Live! How y'all doing today? I have special guests today to react with me. I have Jennifer Valaket. How you doing, Jennifer?
Great, how are you? Thanks for having me again.
Jennifer is a saxophone player and flute player. Also with me today, Evelyn Holland. Hey, Eve, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good, Matt.
We have Kyle Walls. Kyle is a singer, songwriter, and a really cool guy. How you doing, Kyle?
Oh my gosh. So I ran to my computer about 3 minutes ago and knocked over my drink cup. And I didn't have any towels, so I had to run upstairs. And so I got a big mess at my feet that I'll probably need to double duty and get some cleaner on it before it starts to stain.
Yeah.
Eve will be next. All right, Eve, why don't you introduce us?
My pick is from a band called Between the Buried and Me, which is they've been coming up in the progressive metal world for years, and I think for me, back in 2008 when I first heard them, it was just a random purchase I had on kind of a whim from Hot Topic of all places. That's the only time I've been in Hot Topic. I was just like, that looks like an interesting cover, and it kind of looked like almost like a modern variation on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the cover of it. And then, the music, I was just like from start to finish, I was blown away. Because it still had that flowing nature of, that type of music in it, but it had all these heavier influences.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled discussion to thank Jennifer's music page for super chatting. I have a limited amount of time to do that, and so I had to interject. Thank you so much. Super chats beat the line, you see? I had to put in. I apologize. Go for it, Eve.
No worries. It was that record that got me into the band, and they have a lot of great other records that are kind of in a similar vein, that they're this big spanning epic story type of album, and this is the sequel to that first album I got, this is one of the songs from the sequel, I should say. So Colors was the name of the record, the first record, and this is from Colors 2, and the name of the song is The Future Is Behind Us. It just came out, I want to say, at the end of last month.
Without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Between the Buried and Me. The Future Is Behind Us. Official music video. Here we go.
Slightly afraid.
Right on. I really liked it. I mean, there was a little bit much screaming, but that said, I thought, it's the screaming. It did sound good with the music, and it was mixed right. It wasn't wasn't detracting from it. I liked the song. I especially liked how it started like pretty much straight metal, and then all of a sudden just a couple little funky things, or just a couple little electronic things, or just a couple little like ooh, like ooh, piece of candy, and then you hear some more metal, and it's ooh, piece of candy, and then you hear some more metal, ooh. It's like that's what I felt like. It was cool, nice vibes, and it got really, really dark and really intense. It kind of just get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated with like how metal anymore. I guess except for things like Norwegian black metal, that it will probably be pure forever. But how there's so much hybridization with metal and other genres. And listening to this, it was really funny to hear the kind of 80s general MIDI throwback. They had the cheesy sound effects. I forget what song it was they cut in a sample of, but hitting that 80s bass. That
was just perfect.
Oh yeah, yellow. Yeah, so the Ferris Bueller song. Yeah. So, and I'm always fascinated, like is because I've been producing a lot of new music, and I always struggle with the idea. It's like, do I try to produce something like this that jumps genres like every 15-20 seconds, or do I focus on the song? And that's not a put down. I mean, that's kind of the nature of today's marketing of music. Is it seems that anymore most genres are such a hybrid of other genres. We've seemed to hit like a plateau of creativity. So what you're trying to do is, market those like, small chunks of songs to different audiences for the hopes that they put it in playlists and things like that, because that's kind of the whole idea. If you can get a song that gets on many playlists, you could, this could fit easily in some like 80s guitar nerd kind of playlist, contemporary metal, something kind of metal pop. I mean, there's all kinds of places you could put this song, and and seeing, like this is put out by a record company, of course, to me, I like the idea of inferring, how people are working in a business, because metal and hip hop, not necessarily in that order, are the, if you're, working with stuff, that's the genres that really have the best audiences, it seems, that do a lot to support, the artist and things like that. In general. So that was really cool to hear. I mean, it was fun musically, it was fun visually, there's a lot of stuff going on, but to me, the idea of what, you can learn, from our standpoint, watching that is pretty deep,
Yeah, I think it's great that they keep it reinventing the progressive wheel, so to speak, with every album.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder too, like, listening to that, I could see bits and pieces progressive, but then bits and pieces totally weren't. And it was neat, the like Matthew, you brought up the kind of groove aspect and stuff. And the singer really reminded me a lot the way he sounded of the singer Lamb of God, and that kind of, like 20 years ago metal, and trying to, like, hey, how can we still keep something relevant, and be musically entertained, because that's the problem. If you get a job in a pop band playing guitar, what are you really playing? You know what I mean?
Their first couple albums were kind of corey, so that's pretty accurate, I'd say. Yeah. They were like they were very spazzy on there, like they were way more jarring than they are here. This is they've been refined over the years through various albums and incarnations.
If the band Faith No More was around, I could almost see them sounding a little like this at times. The way they,
I like them. Yeah, I really like them. They were one of the few bands that used a lot of that rap rock. They sort of were one of the few that were kind of bringing it in.
Pioneered it, yeah.
And them
and Anthrax.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just a fine line from. I thought Faith No More was, and some of it was kind of thrashy, like I remember Surprise You're Dead. That's kind of a cool song. I don't feel like it went all the way to blast beat. It was kind of close, and it didn't went. But I mean, there was definitely screaming in it for sure. Lots of screaming.
Well, Faith No More's time, the whole blast beat thing was still metal underground. I mean, Metallica, Metallica was the biggest band that kind of brought that up brought that out to, I don't want to say mainstream because I guess, I don't know, did the Metallica Black album have a lot of blast beats on it? I'm trying to remember.
Lars Ulrich can't blast beat.
I'm just gonna
he
say
can't,
that.
but he does a little bit. You listen to like Kill 'Em All and some of that stuff, and
I guess
Ride of Lightning. He's getting close. I mean, he's a tennis player. What are you gonna do?
Well, what's that guy's name?
I suppose.
Mike Patton, is that his name from Faith No More?
Yeah, the main guy.
I think so. Yeah.
I always like
also
copying his voice, man.
Oh, yeah.
I the rap parts I'm not as good at, but the singing parts, man, it's like a nice in between, like my voice, and then like an extreme like Ozzy or Axl. It's like a nice in between. So I can always mimic that really good. Big tangent again. Faith
I have
No
a question.
More.
Oh, sorry.
What?
How does he do that without hurting his vocals? Like I guess just lots of training, right?
Yeah, there's different techniques for it. If you
Yeah.
like even on YouTube, if you look up like death metal singing lessons or something, there's a lot of technique. Yeah, it
really?
is, and it's
That's so cool.
it's not as obvious as you think. I mean, if you're listening through like, I try to remember part of one lesson I heard when on a whole other tangent, but talking about like if you go to make like a cat sound, like a cat hissing, and like where that is vocally, and if you bring that forward in the ways that you can shape it and stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of things, and you're like, oh, that's how you do it, and you start hearing your own self make these sounds. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the song was really cool. I just he had so many different vocal styles. It sounded like, and I kind of got a little freaked out in the part where like his mouth just like drops wide. I was like, oh my god! I don't know why, but I think I've seen too many like Exorcist movies or something because that kind of freaked me out. But like, it was just really cool though. I really liked it actually. I just like, but like the middle part where it got dark kind of like freaked me out a little bit, but in a good way. Like that's okay. Like horror or something, I mean, I play this horror game at night. It's called what's the name of the game that we play? Dead by Daylight, and that's kind of like it reminded me of that a little. But my friends have me play it with them because they know I freak out, and it's funny because I'll get captured or something, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, help me!" It's so funny. But anyway, I really like the song. His different vocals were amazing. I mean, I don't know. He, like I said, he must have had years and years of training for it. So, but he's amazing.
Not lots of partying. They're straight edge and vegan. I know all of them,
Really?
which I think is just, I don't know what kind of influence that has on the music, but I assume being that healthy would have an influence on what you're able to produce musically.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's for anybody, definitely.
Anytime I hear straight edge, I always think of Minor Threat. And and then getting to see Fugazi, however you say that band's name, back in like 90 or whatever it was. It's like,
All right.
Good conversation.
I'm reeling it in. I caught you. I'm reeling it in. Okay. All right. Remember, we're a collaborative family here, and so we all get to upload the videos. And so please don't comment and say, I've seen this before. If you're watching this right now, you're going to see it again. Okay. Make sure you know that. Also, go to patreon.com/Matthew's Music Lesson Studio for weekly bonus content. That's right. The weekly bonus content is insane. It's off the chain. You get a bonus video every single week. Patreon.com/Matthew's Music Lesson Studio. You can help me meet my weekly goal at liberapay.com/Matthew's Music. This is a non-profit. Only transfer fees apply, so you can really support the studio hardcore here. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Matthew's Music. Thank you to everyone who has been buying me the coffees. I am drinking them. Also, Venmo. Send me a tip at Matthews Music. You can also do a super chat just like Jennifer did. Super chats beat you to the top of the line. You get a shout out immediately for your super chat within a few moments, and you also get the top of the chat later. So I'll give you a second shout out because you're awesome. And also, we've got here music lessons. Since we're going back to school, it's time to learn. I teach globally, only in English. MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. All you need is an internet connection, a device, and you get to record the lessons and keep them forever. Forever! So make sure you all like this video. Please share it out. Subscribe to myself. Subscribe to my wonderful guests, Evelyn, Holland, Jennifer Valaket, her Jennifer's Music page, and Kyle Walls. Make sure you find him at Kyle Walls on Instagram. Little pirate voice here. And I'll see you all next time on The Sound Live.